Onboarding is the second most important part of your app after the product value. But it doesn't matter how valuable your product is if the user leaves before they even experience it. So in this video, I will break down the behavioral principles that I use in my app to reduce onboarding drop-off, and I show how you can use them to help your users experience your app value. By the way, I'm Anton. I help business owners turn their product idea into working applications. And these are lessons that I learned while struggling with the same problem. So let's dive in. The first principle is loss aversion. It is a fundamental principle from behavioral economics that simply says that people tend to feel a loss more strongly than an equivalent gain. But to understand that, imagine I give you $1,000. That will feel good, but if I take your money away, that will feel much worse. The emotional response is completely different, and companies use this principle all the time. One of my favorite example is Opel. They just ask you how many hours you spend on your phone each day, and then it shows how much time then adds up in a year. Also show the bigger picture. At this rate, I will spend 6 years of my life on my phone, and suddenly the reverse value from just phone time reducer to protecting my years of life that could otherwise disappear into my phone. And that is important part. Whatever you design onboarding, don't just ask what will user gain by using my product. You can ask instead what are they already losing by leaving my problem unsolved. And if you talk to your customer from that perspective, it will be much powerful. The next principle is called the Garnet effect, and it shows that unfinished tasks tend to remain active in our minds until they complete it. You can see the principle at work in many successful apps. They created an open loop in the mind and make each step so easy that there is almost no resistance. But the problem is, it doesn't always work equally well. Users are most likely to leave at the beginning because they haven't invested anything in app yet and can just do not understand if your app will provide value that they expect. So you can think about it in terms of probability. If you break down onboarding step by step, you will notice that many people leave right after the first screens, especially when they download app without making a strong commitment. But once they invested even a small amount of time into the process, the probability that they continue to the next step starts to increase with probability that they complete it. This is why the first question should be effortless to answer and directly related to the user problem and pain points. As user gets deeper into our onboarding flow, you can increase the amount of effort required from them. This is where you can introduce questions that ask for more personal information, request permission, and introduce other high-friction actions. So the first part of onboarding is really about building trust, but the second give a chance to ask you for something bigger. But you can power up this principle with something stronger. It's called the IKEA effect. And the idea behind this is simple. People feel more attached to things that they consider they own than to things that they could simply buy. And you can make it work inside your app. If you give every user exactly the same product, the experience can feel generic. But when users take part in creating the result, everything changes. For example, in my workout app, instead of showing user a basic workout plan recommended to every beginner, as competitors do, I first ask them everything I need to know to generate a personalized plan. And then I created a plan specifically for them and showed the real value it can provide. So the main idea isn't simply personalize your product, it's like let user feel they building something together with your product. And the differences matter. So when people feel that something was created specifically for them, based on their own choice and effort, they usually care about it much more than something designed for everyone. So in summary, if you combine all of those principles into your product, people are more likely to stick with it. Just remember that most people use software in a way that is similar to walking through fog in winter. They just have intention of fixing their problems and don't even know whatever your product can help them. So the best thing that you can do is simply show them that you can solve their problem, and that's it. In meantime, tell me what you think about this video in the comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.